Hi, welcome to 5 Minutes of Torah with the BI Rabbi. I'm your BI video rabbi for this week, coming to you from my office at the Beth Israel, where you can see that I've acquired some kosher chocolates from Trader Joe's, which I'm very excited about. If you're interested in some dark chocolates, peanut butter cups, chocolate-covered almonds, stop by my office sometime when you're in the area, and I'd love to have a chat. Now, I want to tell you about a couple events we have coming up here at Beth Israel, and then share a few words of Torah with you. One event is a really big one we have coming up next Saturday night, the 24th, at 8 p.m. This is our annual Slichot event and service. And this year, Rabbi Infeld will be in conversation with our deputy mayor, Andrea Reimer, and she spent a lot of time, sadly, as an addict and homeless on the east side, and so he'll be in conversation with her. We've titled this From the Streets of the Downtown East Side to City Hall, and she'll be sharing with us her journey to becoming a member of the City Council and Deputy Mayor, and our musical Slichot service will follow. The other event I'll tell you about briefly is Finger Lickin' Shabbat, coming up next Friday. There's a wonderful Shabbat dinner with chicken and vegetarian options, story time, sing-along, all starting at 5 p.m. so it's easy for young families, followed by our Shul Erev Shabbat service with child minding provided. So it'll be great, and we need your RSVP by this coming Tuesday, the 20th of September. More info about these events and others are on our website. Now, one thing that you'll notice about this week's Torah portion, Ki Teitzei, is that there's a lot of discussion about marriage. But they're not really nice teachings to read about, at least for our modern sensibilities. There's one about the man who has two wives, and he loves one of them and hates the other. And that's not so nice. There's the one about the captive woman in war, a Jewish man who takes a woman captive in a war, and instructions for what he should do when he takes a liking to her and wants to marry her. That's not so great either. In our 21st century Western sort of minds, these things seem very, very difficult and off-putting. But they were certainly necessary laws in their time and worth studying in their historical and geographic context. Context in which women were taken captive in war, and men did take multiple wives and concubines. Actually, we were discussing this after Minyan one morning this week at breakfast, and we realized that with the rise of groups like the self-proclaimed Islamic State, IS, or ISIS, these situations described in our Torah portion are unfortunately not just historical trivia anymore. Now, perhaps that's a subject to expand upon for a longer teaching one day, not just a quick video drash, but I do want to leave you with a teaching that's a bit more uplifting. This is a teaching from the Chatam Sofer. Chatam Sofer was Moses Schreiber or Moshe Sofer. He became known in Judaism. People are known by their greatest work of writing. So as if J.K. Rowling were known as the Harry Potter or the Harry Potterer, but he was known as the Chatam Sofer because he wrote a famous work named the Chatam Sofer. He was a leading rabbi in Europe in the 1700s and 1800s. Now he gives this beautiful teaching about a verse or a couple verses in Hosea, the prophet Hosea, or Hosea in Hebrew. And these are the verses and the lines that we say when we're putting on the tefillin, actually when we're wrapping it around our finger towards the end of putting on tefillin on a weekday morning. Actually, there are also a couple lines that are said by brides sometimes under the chuppah, and you'll see why. Each of these three lines starts with the phrase, Ve'erastichli, I betroth you to me. So you can see why wives sometimes choose to say it when giving a ring under the chuppah. Now the middle of these three lines says, Ve'erastichli betzedek uvmishpat uvchesed uvrachamim. I betroth you to me with righteousness, with justice, with loving kindness, and with compassion. So the Chatam Sofer says that God provides the chesed, the loving kindness, and the rachamim, the mercy, but it is our job to introduce tzedek and mishpat, justice and righteousness, to our society, and I think to our relationships as well. So that is how each side of our covenantal relationships between us and God, between us and fellow human beings, perhaps spouses, can contribute to holy community and holy relationships. So this Shabbat, let us focus on our senses of justice, of righteousness in the world, and our relationships, and let us hold on to our love and compassion for those around us as well. Shabbat Shalom.